Good morning and welcome back to Sanctuary from Your Sofa. There's still plenty more to come live from our Sidmouth HQ today, but now it's time to hand you over to three of our regional teams across the UK to hear how they've been keeping their herds happy and healthy.
Hi everyone, my name's Melanie McComb and I'm the Centre Manager for Manchester Donkey Assisted Therapy Centre. So the donkeys at Manchester have been doing really well during this period of time, but really the centre has been missing some of the buzz that our clients and our visitors bring to it. So what we've tried to do is keep as the day as normal as possible for the donkeys. We make sure that they are mentally stimulated, which is really, really important for our donkey health. Everybody that comes to the centre is well aware of our adoption donkeys, Henry and Tiny Tim. Over this last year, both of them have been really, really well. Henry really likes to take himself off and be by himself at times. We do call him the unicorn donkey. He's the donkey everybody wants to see, but never appears. But Henry over this time has become really quite inquisitive and wanting to be in people's spaces and investigate what's in his environment, which has been really beautiful to see. Tiny Tim, our ever inquisitive donkey, he's up to his same shenanigans, wanting to see everything as an opportunity to explore and to see what sounds things make and what they taste like. So he's still exactly the same. Nose in people's pockets as they go past, taking the rugs off our other donkeys.
So we've had 6 new donkeys that have arrived with us at the end of February. So they initially spent 2 weeks in isolation. And then after the 2 week, we took the isolation barriers down so that our original herd of donkeys could then meet them through the fence. They could touch noses and sniff, things like that. Once that the donkeys were quite happy with that, we left the hurdles down for about a week or so. Then slowly we then turn our original herd of donkeys out into the field, let the isolation herd out onto the main yard, and then slowly, we call it drip feeding the normal herd through into the main yard with our donkeys, 1 or 2 at a time. So 6 new donkeys that came to us. We've got Bran, who is 6, and he's a brown gelding. And he has got a best friend that came with him called Tucky. So he's a bonded partner to Tucky and Bran. Tucky is a brown/grey gelding, so he's got a little bit of grey in his coat. He's 5 years old. And then we've got Crixus, who is a grey gelding, who he looks pretty much white. He's 7 years old. And then we've got another donkey called Clanry. He's 12 years old. He's one of the oldest of the donkeys. And then we've got Occo and we've got Edric. They're also a bonded pairing. Occo is 6 and Edric is 11. Thank you very much for joining us here at Manchester. And from all of us here at Manchester and all of our lovely donkeys, we can't wait to see you all here again when we can finally reopen. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Lorraine Nelson and I work as a centre manager for the Donkey Sanctuary Belfast. In Belfast, it's been a bit quieter than normal. The donkeys have really, I think they were very curious as to what was happening for the first couple of weeks because it wasn't a normal routine for them. Normally, we'd be welcoming visitors at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and at the weekends. Obviously, in normal times, Alfie and Benjy in Belfast would be meeting their normal supporters. But since lockdown, things have been a wee bit different. They are still very bonded, obviously. I would say that Alfie is completely devoted to Benjy. And I think especially with some of the new donkeys that have come into the herd, Alfie would have been very overprotective, I would say. We've noticed that he would doubly make sure that Benjy was going to be safe and secure. Obviously, we monitored that very, very closely. But yeah, he's been very accepting actually of the new donkeys that have come in. Benjy is very happy. He has been really healthy, and he's really enjoyed actually the introduction of the fresh donkeys into the herd. I think have really brought a new dynamic into the whole herd.
Well, donkeys like us, you know, that they need to have things going on in their lives. They need stimulus to keep them mentally active. Physically, they need to be moving to keep them supple, because we don't want them having any issues with their joints. And the more stimulus they have, the more involved they become, the more they're moving about, the more they're interacting with each other. And the more time we spend with them, the better equipped they are to spend time with members of the public and to work with members of the public and to be really comfortable doing it. We've been doing lots of things over lockdown to provide stimulus for the donkeys and enrich their days. Some of them are food-based, so we have some logs that we would put honey on and different spices. We distribute their breakfast all over the yard, down in the sensory trail, so they have to forage for it, which keeps them occupied for a couple of hours. We take them on walks, so they'll have enrichment walks where they'll go and get to eat some grass and forage in the hedges. We have toys for them. They come into the indoor sometimes and have a wee play. They love looking at themselves in the mirror. That's probably one of their favourite things. They're fascinated with themselves. We would put out sort of obstacle courses almost for them down in the sand lanes, so they'll have poles to walk over, which is really good for their mobility and seems to entertain them. They'll have poles to walk around that will lead them around. They love a welly boot, for example. That's probably one of their favourite toys. Nothing they love more than picking up a welly boot and hitting each other around the head with it and chasing each other to get it. So our adoption donkeys, Alfie and Benjy, the type of things that I really enjoy are food-based mostly. Alfie in particular, if he is doing an activity based around food, for example, the other day we had cardboard boxes filled with some raisins and straw and some spices. And he found a box that he wanted and he got his face in it and he stuck with it for about half an hour. He did everything but eat the cardboard box itself. You know, he really gets stuck in and is determined to get every ounce of food out of it. Benjy, he likes going for walks. You know, he likes going for a wee tour around the yard, you know, around the sensory garden, up the lane. We'll have our neighbours have some ducks up there that they like to go up and have a look at, have a nibble on the hedge. He likes, you know, to get out and about a wee bit more. Okay, it's been lovely being able to chat to everybody. Thanks for joining us here in Belfast. Can't wait to see you in person again, and I'm sure all our lovely boys are looking forward to seeing you too.
Hi, my name's Jess. I work at the Donkey Sanctuary Ivybridge. I've been working here for 14 years now. Life at the centre with no visitors, no clients, no volunteers has been really strange. It's been really quiet. It's taken a while to get used to it. The herd here at Ivybridge are getting on really well. We have 16 donkeys at the moment, and they're definitely enjoying the improving weather and the fact they've been able to get out into the field and enjoy some free time out there. Pooh and Eeyore are here at Ivybridge. They've been joining in with all the enrichment that we do. Pooh really likes when we spread herbs such as turmeric and spices such as turmeric on the yard. he likes to sniff them and lick them, and he makes a really funny face. Eeyore really likes when we put out warm water and warm teas. He goes and has a long drink with the rest of the herd, but they're both fine. They both enjoy being groomed. Pooh's his usual playful self, so when we've got head collars on the yard, you quite often find that if you haven't kept an eye on it, Pooh will gather it up and take it off to play with it, and he likes taking our brushes as well, so you have to keep an eye on everything when Pooh's near you. And Eeyore, in his older age, is getting really cuddly, so he seems to keep coming over and wanting extra attention. Boomer is 30 now, so he'll come into the arena for a roll, for some hay, and he'll lay in the arena and he seems to be so relaxed, enjoying his peaceful time in the arena with his friend Monty, who comes in with him. During the winter, we make sure that there's always straw available, and we do as much enrichment as possible. So we bring in gorse, we bring in willow, we have activity kind of balls that you can put food in, and then the donkeys push them around the yard. We have break bomb of those. As they push them around, the food comes out. Also, during the winter, because it's cold, the donkeys tend to stop drinking quite so much. So we do bring a lot of warm water onto the yard, and they absolutely love the warm water. They drink it as fast as we put it out, really. As spring arrives and the weather is getting better, it's lighter, the donkeys seem to be getting a lot more playful. They are running around a lot more. They absolutely love going up to the field. When we open the gates to the field, they'll zoom up the path and have a good run around up in the field before they settle down for some grass. And it's lovely to see them out in the sunshine, out playing with their friends as a herd in the field, just as it should be. Thank you for joining us here at the Donkey Sanctuary Ivybridge. We can't wait to have you back here to visit us and the donkeys.
A huge thank you to Jess, Lorraine, Claire, Mel and Jenny for joining us there. Before we go, let's take a look at what's coming up. At midday, we'll be live in Sidmouth at Shelter 4 to meet some incredible donkeys who have had to overcome some big hurdles in their lives. Adoption donkeys Ashley and Zena both needed a helping hand after difficulties at birth, and their friend Christian recently needed surgery to treat a condition called ballerina syndrome. Farm manager Maxine will be there to tell us more. From 1 o'clock, we'll be heading over to Shelter 2 to check in on Timothy, Walter and friends, and hear some interesting and quirky facts about donkeys. We'll then hop over the fence to the flagpole paddocks, where Bonnie and friends will be eagerly awaiting a special International Carrot Day treat. It'll be time to head across the UK to Leeds and Birmingham at 2. We'll be hearing how their herds have been getting on since we last saw them, and learning about donkey friendships and why it's important for grooms to build a bond with the donkeys they care for. And we'll finish off the day live at Shelter 1, where we'll say hello to Hannah and Coco and see how Ruby is getting on in her new home. Our resident donkey behaviour expert Ben Hart will be joining us there to talk about some misconceptions we might have about donkeys and why it's sometimes important to look at things from a different angle. That will be coming up at 3 o'clock. Nothing we do would be possible without the incredible generosity of people like you. One really unique way of supporting our work is by adopting one of our 22 adoption donkeys across the UK. If you'd like to find out more and meet our adoption herd, head to bray.news/adopt or click on the link below this video. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again live at 12.